Aemon One-Eye, the Clubfoot, and Bloodraven. How are they connected, and is the Clubfoot a skin changer and or a Greenseer? Vhagar thought about killing Aemon, but then she didn't. She and Aemon bonded. Unfortunately, he was attacked by his nephews and cousins, and in the end, he lost an eye just like his sister Helena had prophesied. Around 76 years later, Bloodraven also lost an eye during the First Blackfire Rebellion. During the ad hoc trial, Aemon told his mother not to mourn him because he might have lost an eye, but he gained a dragon. Later on, Otto said something similar. Otto told Alicent that Vhagar was worth 1,000 eyes. Although the show writers were not implying anything in regards to Bloodraven, Otto's statement reminded me of Bloodraven since a popular riddle was, how many eyes does Lord Bloodraven have? 1,000 eyes and 1. Bloodraven was a skin changer and a Greenseer, so he saw out of the eyes of animals such as ravens. As an example, a raven told Jon to burn the white at Castle Black, and another raven told Sam to go after he was attacked by a white. Before Bloodraven ever went north, he served as Master of Whisperers for his nephew, King Aerys I. During that time, Bloodraven presumably used his 1,000 eyes to spy on people, including Dunk and Egg. In House of the Dragon, some fans believe that the Clubfoot is spying on people through the rats and the weirwood. Let's talk about that. My friend, the Westerosi Ninja, said something very interesting the other day. The Clubfoot is Larys of House Strong, so he grew up at Harrenhal. Harrenhal is located on a lake known as the God's Eye. At the center of that lake is an island. This is a very important location. Supposedly, men fought the children of the forest for generations. Eventually, they met up upon the isle in the God's Eye to form a peace pact. The children gave up all the lands of Westeros save for the deep forest, and the first men promised that they would no longer cut down the weirwoods. They carved faces into every weirwood on the isle so that the gods could witness the pact, which is why the isle became known as the Isle of Faces. The Westerosi Ninja hypothesized that the Clubfoot probably went out to that island as a kid, and he might be right. I can only speak for myself, but if I grew up anywhere near the God's Eye, I would definitely have gone out to that island at least once. In theory, the Clubfoot may have done just so and activated a talent of Greensight. To be clear, there's no evidence in the canon that this happened, and there's no evidence that the Clubfoot is a Greenseer. There's also no evidence that the Clubfoot is a skin changer, but some fans think that he is, at least in the show. Some fans believe that he is skin-changing rats so as to spy on people. If that is true, then the Clubfoot would be similar to Bloodraven since Bloodraven was able to spy on people through the eyes of ravens and trees. The Clubfoot told Alicent something very interesting.
When one is never invited to speak, one learns instead to observe.
At face value, he was just saying that he is very observant. But Bloodraven was also very observant due to the fact that he was a skin changer and a Greenseer. And the show has a lot of rats in the Red Keep. There were 2 rats on Balerian's skull when Rhaenyra snuck out, which might mean that someone watched her sneak out of the Red Keep. There was a rat on top of Viserys' bed frame. There was a rat at Rhaenyra's wedding, and a rat inside Viserys' room. In addition to the rats, the show also has a number of suspicious camera angles that make it seem as if someone is spying. As an example, it looked as if someone or something watched when Alicent went to Viserys for the first time to comfort him. There was also a strange camera angle when Alicent gave Viserys the repaired dragon figurine. This is a shot of Alicent washing Viserys after they got married, and this camera angle suggested that something might have watched Rhaenyra and Sir Criston Cole make love. As a reminder, they hopped on the good foot and did the bad thing in the same episode as the brothel scene, and in the brothel scene, Daemon and others were voyeurs. This is also the same episode as the rat on Viserys' bed frame, a rat which may have seen Viserys and Alicent do their thing. It was so hot. When Alicent called out Rhaenyra in the Godswood, there might have been something watching them, but not through the eyes of the tree. The camera angle suggests that something might have been watching them from the side. Here's another good one. When Daemon asked Viserys to wed Rhaenyra to him, it appeared that something may have been watching them. Last, but certainly not least, something may have seen Mellos give Rhaenyra the moon tea. So there are a lot of reasons to believe that someone might be skin-changing into rats so as to spy on people in the Red Keep, but there's a potential issue with this theory. Since the Clubfoot is disabled, he has had to navigate life with a disadvantage. The Clubfoot becomes a major player in the game by learning to work around his disability as well as by leveraging his disability to come across as less assuming. An argument can be made that he is the most talented player in the game at the time, so personally, I find him to be a much more compelling character if he is able to achieve all that he achieves through wit alone. Nevertheless, there are a lot of strange camera angles and a lot of rats. Those rats must be there for a reason. So what is the reason? There are actually two reasons aside from the skin changer theory. First and foremost, it is symbolic. The rats are a sign of the decay within the family. Viserys' disease is another sign of that, so there's that. Symbolism. The second reason for the rats is a big one. I will be vague so as to avoid detailed spoilers. In the Dance of the Dragons, there is a character named Cheese, who is a rat catcher. Instead of just randomly introducing Cheese in a future episode, House of the Dragon has made it very clear that there is a rat infestation in the Red Keep. That is most likely the primary reason for the rats. It's worth noting that we haven't seen rats eat any cheese, but we have seen one drink blood. If you haven't read the book, then the final 3 words of this video will likely take on a new meaning in due time. Blood and cheese.